Going for a walk with your dog and enjoying the great outdoors is fun, but not when a wild animal comes to get in a fight with it. If a wild animal gets in a fight with your cat or dog, it can be very dangerous for your pet and potentially even for yourself. It's important to know what to do in the situation prior to it happening, or if the fight has already happened, what to do next. So this is exactly what you should do if your pet dog or cat, or any pet for that matter, gets into a fight with a wild animal. So when an animal attacks your pet or dog, regardless of whichever creature it is or if it's some kind of other pet, the advice will be quite the same. An animal attack can occur out of the blue, even in urban areas. Some animals, such as raccoons, hide out in urban environments and may suddenly feel threatened if they feel you are approaching on their territory. And other wild animals, such as alligators, may be looking for a meal, and the advice we will give in that situation will be different. A wild animal attack on your pet can occur anytime for any reason. It can even happen in your own home, such as if a wild animal is attempting to infest your home, but more on that later. We will go into the specifics of what you should do for each type of creature in just a moment. But first, if your pet has already gotten into a fight or it gets into a fight, this is what you should do immediately after. So if your pet has just gotten into a fight, or despite the best precautions, it's very important to take your pet to the vet as soon as possible, even if there's no obvious damage. The reason for that is because a small bite or scratch may not damage the flesh of your creature, but it could transmit a deadly disease such as rabies. Some deadly viruses such as rabies don't even have symptoms until it's too late, and a vet will likely clean up any wounds that your animal has, test it, and also provide appropriate treatment if necessary. And if you've been bit or scratched, then you should also go to get your wounds checked up to prevent an infection or deadly disease being transmitted. So here's what to do if your pet gets into a fight with a wild animal based on the type of wild creature. The first one is small animals and pests. These types of wild animal attacks are usually the most common, but also the least dangerous, assuming you go to a vet and/or doctor after the case. Small animals and pests that may attack your pet spontaneously include raccoons, skunks, squirrels, possums, opossums, wild dogs, and wild cats. If a small wild animal pest has suddenly attacked you or your pet, the best thing you can immediately do is just to jump up and down, scream very loudly, and charge at the wild animal, assuming that it's not backed into a corner. Your loudness and courage will scare the wild animal away. They're typically afraid of loud noises and know that they would lose a fight. If you have a flashlight or floodlight available and the attack occurs during nighttime, such as near your home, it could also be effective to just turn on the lights, as that could scare the animal away as well. Animals such as raccoons, possums, and skunks are typically nocturnal, which means that they prefer to be out at nighttime and not in the day. So if a fight like this occurs and screaming at the wild animal doesn't make it go away, it is not advisable to put your hands in the fight, as you will likely be bit or scratched. Use a shovel, thick gloves, or other material to break up the fight and push the animal away. Do not attack to kill. Focus mainly on just pushing the creature away in such a way that does not expose yourself to any bites or scratches. It will then run away. Again, if you are bitten or scratched, you should go to the doctor to check yourself out, in addition to taking your pet to the vet. Also, do not back any of the above animals into a corner. Always provide an exit for these creatures. These animals will fight viciously and perhaps even until the death if they feel like they are backed into a corner. If they're young or nearby, they will also feel more threatened, and you should just try to leave the area in that case, as they will also fight very viciously. In most cases, screaming loudly and just stepping forward will cause the creature to run away. But if that doesn't work, use some thick material or something to push the creature off of your pet, leave the area, and/or check to make sure that the animal can escape and run off somewhere. If this attack occurs in your own home, you should just back off and call an expert. The next type of creatures that might attack your pet would be venomous creatures and those with stingers. Venomous creatures such as snakes, scorpions, spiders, and other critters are primarily found in the desert regions, such as Arizona and Nevada. Be sure to know what types of creatures are located in your area so that you can properly identify and deal with any problem that you may have. Bees, wasps, and hornets are also stinging creatures that are found all across the United States, with some of the most evil and vicious types also being found in the desert regions. Avoid areas that have these types of creatures. It's also important that in the event that you are in an area like this, such as going on a hike, you keep your pet on a tight leash or have it well trained, and don't let them stray into areas that could have abundance of these creatures, such as tall grass or bushes or just a ton of rocks. If you hear bees or see any of the above creatures, keep your pet away. In some rare cases, killer bees will repeatedly sting and attack a pet or even human to death. If stung by any of the above or bit by a snake, take your pet to the vet and get yourself checked out too. When identifying any of the above creatures and dealing with that kind of a situation, the best thing you can do is back down slowly and not let the fight happen. In the event of some creatures, such as a snake, simply attacking it with some armor, again using like a shovel or thick cloth or something like that, will probably make it go away. However, for other insects such as bees and wasps, you're simply just going to have to run away, and you're not going to be able to fight them. Our next type of creatures include larger animal pests, such as coyotes, bobcats, mountain lions, and wild large cats. These types of creatures can be more aggressive and much more dangerous to your pet in a conflict. In the event that you see any of those creatures, you need to slowly back away. But if the creature is preparing to attack, you'll have to prepare for a fight. Be loud, raise your jacket or arms to look as big as possible, and maintain eye contact. As always, provide an exit for these types of creatures. We don't want this creature or you backed into a corner. Give it an escape, and it will likely take the escape route. Be prepared to toss sand or dirt into the creature's eyes, throw some rocks, and get ready for a fight. If your region has some of these creatures, it would be wise to carry some type of animal repellent spray on you to protect yourself, because fighting these creatures can be a bit painful. These creatures will likely back down, but in the event that you have to fight, it can cause some damage to your skin. They're often much faster than you as well, so running away doesn't really make sense. So whenever possible, if you see these creatures, just slowly leave the area. They might be attacking you because their young is nearby, or they're not able to really move, or they're defensive or in pain. They're probably not going to attack for food reasons when you are with your pet. Our next type of creature is alligators. Alligators are common in wetland areas such as Florida, and the best way to avoid an alligator attack is just to avoid any bodies of water where the creature could be hiding out. So keep a safe distance of about 25 feet from any body of water. Alligator attacks aren't too common when humans are nearby, but if they are hungry or more aggressive, such as if they have young nearby, are very hungry, or it's mating season, then they might be looking at your pet as a tasty snack, especially if your pet's not on a tight leash and it's kind of roaming around. In rare cases, alligators have even attacked smaller young humans such as kids or older weak humans as a food source as well. Alligators almost exclusively attack you for food reasons unless you are explicitly provoking the alligator. So if you do spot an alligator, run away as quickly as possible. Alligator attacks happen swiftly via a sudden outburst of energy and attack, followed by retreat back into the water. Running away from the water will likely allow you to escape the creature, and it will lack the energy, nonetheless the ability to chase you out of the water in most cases. If your creature or you are bit by an alligator, then you should go to a doctor or vet immediately, as bites and scratches from alligators, assuming you survive the attack, are highly likely to get infected. So in short, if you see an alligator, you can just immediately run away. It's probably not likely to suddenly start chasing, and in the event that it was going to attack, you would have already escaped it. Our next type of creature is bears. If traveling in nature with a pet cat or dog, and this area is likely to have bears, you should probably prepare with bear spray. If you spot a bear out in the wild, such as while you're hiking with your pet, quickly, without running, leave the area, and also be quiet about it too. Bears can charge and sprint up to 30 miles per hour, so attempting to run is not going to do any good. In fact, it will just trigger the bear to start chasing you because it will activate its natural predatory instinct. bear attacks for food reasons are rare. They typically feel threatened that you're on their territory or they're protecting their young. However, do not mess around with bears. Your best bet, if you're going in an area which has bears, is to have bear spray. Have the bear spray ready and get it in the nose, eyes, and mouth of the bear if it attempts to charge you. If you are seen, don't make any sudden movements, don't scream, don't yell, don't run, and don't stare it down in the eye. Be calm and just leave swiftly without running or being too jumpy, or letting your pet get too jumpy or excited. And if it does start to attack or charge you, stand tall, look big, scream, and pretend to be confident, but be prepared to have a rather brutal fight. Some bear attacks will actually stop if you play dead. There are some various different types of bears, and you should research the types of bears in your local area. For example, black bears, polar bears, and brown bears, they're all completely different in how you should deal with them. So research that in your own local area. For example, we know that some bear attacks will actually stop if you play dead because it'll lose interest. However, the problem with this is that your pet is not going to be playing dead, especially if a bear is attempting to attack it. So in this case, the general advice we can give is just have some bear spray and be smart about where you're going. But if you do see it, try to get away. Our next type of creature is moose. Moose see dogs specifically as a threat, and they get quite surprised and perhaps even angered when they bark or chase. Some are particularly aggressive towards dogs and will just go out of their way to kick a dog for the fun of it. So in the event that you see a moose, keep your pet as calm as possible and do everything you can not to disturb the creatures. The moose will approach you either looking for free food or to warn you to back away. For example, if a mate or young are nearby or just feels like you're approaching its territory. As soon as possible, try to get out of sight. For a moose, out of sight, out of mind. So get behind a fence, tree, or anything that you can hide behind, such so that you can't see it, and then it will not see you, and it'll eventually leave. Now, in the event that a moose does charge you or approach, just run away. It'll likely stop chasing eventually, and you are likely to escape. Protecting your home from animal attacks. So it's never fully guaranteed that you are safe when you're outside of your home, such as in a hike where there could be bears and other dangerous creatures, but you should always feel and be safe within the comforts of your home, and same for your pets. The problem is that while your home is comfortable for you and your pets, it may also be comfortable to wild pests and insects that also see it as a place to hide out during winter to save resources or any time for that matter. So if a wild animal or pest is attempting to infest or has already infested your home, it can actually cause great damages to your health, your pet's health, your family's health, as well as a lot of home damages as they really mess up the foundation or scratch things and otherwise just leave waste. So if you think that you have a wildlife or pest infestation, give us a call at 855-WILDLIFE to get a free inspection report, or you can visit our website, which will be in the description of this video, at wildlifexteam.com for more information. We hope you found this video enjoyable and useful. So if you did, please leave a like and comment what you think in the comment section below. And of course, be sure to subscribe for new weekly awesome content. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week.
Having trouble with wildlife in your home or office? Wildlife X Team is your solution to get rid of the raccoons, bats, rats, and snakes. Having a professional team, we offer both residential and commercial animal removal methods by using innovative and integrated techniques. Our services include animal trapping, dead animal removal, nuisance wild animal control, and animal capture. What are you waiting for? To get 24/7 service, call us at 855-WILDLIFE for an affordable solution for your nuisance wildlife issues.